Hi everyone, this is Miss Miharu. I've found a nice mid-screen setup with Kollector back in pack variation, which lets you OS almost every wake up in the game. So he could always do this, but now it actually leads to a full combo because it uses the newly buffed 443 string, and before doing this 4-4 didn't combo into Bola and 4-4-3 didn't launch, so it wasn't that big of a deal. So this is after a command grab. Doesn't matter if it's in a combo or if it's raw. It works either way because you get the same distance and the same hit advantage. So what this does is it beats up threes. It beats up twos, and it beats forward rolls. You can see it said punish. They can just stand up and block, but in that case you're not gonna go for the 3 in the 4-4, and then you're -9 with some pushback. I can show you it in a second. But the timing, as I said, it's really strict. When you're practicing this, you either want to put the opponent on forward roll and see that you get a punish, or you can see that the first hit of 4 should whiff if he just stands up. Otherwise, you're doing it too late. And to find the timing for this, I look to Kollector's arms when he puts them back into the backpack. You can see there. So when the arms go back into the backpack, there we go. That's when you start using the string, right? I'll tell you right away the counters to this. You can delay wake up. It's not really a counter, but that way you sort of avoid it. A lot of characters can jump forward and get like a full combo. Jump in, punch. It's not as easy as it looks because Kollector kind of bends forward, as you can see there. So a lot of jump in punches will whiff, but like if you practice it, it's doable. You can of course roll backwards and be safe, or jump backwards. Scorpion is one of those characters that can jump back and punish it, but that is very, very unique to Scorpion, right? So the only up twos that beat it is Kollector and Cabal. And the reason for that is because they sort of hunch down when they do their their up twos. So the standing 4 whiffs, and then the second 4 doesn't come out fast enough before they hit you. Those are the only up twos that work with this. Then we have some up threes that work. Shao Kahn, Frost, Jax, Cabal again, and Scarlet. So it's 5 up threes that it doesn't work on, and 2 up twos. Johnny is a sort of exception. He can up 3, and you don't get a full combo because he's airborne, but he gets splatted and is used an offensive and a defensive bar for getting up. So I'd say it's still a good trade. Generally, you don't want to use this after the sickle, what's it called? The down back 3, because it puts you closer. So one, if you mistime it slightly, you get hit with forward roll and they just punish you. They end up behind you and punish you hard. Or also a lot of up threes will then beat it because they're a lot closer. Okay, so say you hit their wake up with this setup, right? You have a few different combo routes. If you hit them from like max range, if they do an up 2 or up 3, you can go for dash up 2-2, oops, dash up 2-2 to Bola, jump in punch, forward 4 into sickle. You get a nice 31%. Actually, you get a bit less if they do a up 3, because only the second part of this hits, but you know, you get the idea. You get 30% something. You can also do a bit more damage if you do a jump in 2. I prefer using jumping 1. I don't think the damage outweighs the potential of dropping it, because it's kind of weird to hit. But if you want to practice that, go ahead. You can also do it meterlessly. Here, I want to recommend to use a easy combo, because you can do this into that. That is the max damage that I've found. But you have to time the 2-2 differently than if you would do the bola. Like if you do the bola, you want to dash up and do it right away. And if you do the command grab, you want to do it really late. So I don't think that really messes my brain up. So I would recommend going for either this, which doesn't have the best Oki, but it does have a brutality, and you get about the same damage. You lose not even 1%. Or I would just go for, oops, standing 2 into this, keeps them towards the same side. You lose like 1% damage, or like 10-14% of 14 damage, and it's just a lot easier. So that's something I would recommend. If you want to practice different timings, go ahead, be my guest, but it's not something I would recommend, because the different timings messes me up. If they roll forward, you will hit them point blank. So then your combo will look something like this. A cool 28% if you... No, not really, since again, only the second part hits, but you get like 27 meterlessly. And if you want to spend the bar, combo would look like this. Oops, I messed it up. I'm still not used to these combos, so bear with me. There we go. A nice 33%, or slightly less, 32 maybe. So those are the combos that I recommend using. There's like probably different ways to use it, but that's sort of what I've found to be the best. Okay, so now you're thinking, but what do you do when they start jumping forward on wake up? First of all, if they start jumping forward on wake up, I think they're kind of desperate, which is good, because you want them to be desperate. And jumping in on Kollector is actually not the best idea, because his standing 2 is such a great anti-air. So you do something like this. And you get a nice 32%, right? And if you don't have the bar, you can always just go for this, or this into restand, which I don't think is great, but it's something you can do. And if they decide to like jump and kick instead, oh right, you have a crushing blow there. So them starting to jump forward on wake up is actually really nice for you. And let's put you on auto block, and let's put, yeah. And if they decide to wake up, or sorry, if they decide to just block on wake up, I mistimed it slightly there. You can see he blocked the first hit. I'm -9 at this distance where no one is going to punish you. So this is not that big of a deal. So yeah, if they really want to, they can start jumping forward on your wake up, and then just anti-air them instead. So yeah, this is the tech. This is sort of how you can practice the timing and what you can do if it works out. The funny thing is that, as I said, the timing is really strict, and the up twos that will hit you out of it, they won't work if you mistime it. So for instance, Cabal's up 2, if you're a bit late, the forward 4-3 will hit them. This also applies to some up 3s. I think Cabal's up 3 is one of them as well. And Kollector's up 2 is also one of those. So like if you mistime this and are a bit late, it will actually beat their wake ups as well. Then they will beat you with a forward roll, or you will be all up in their face and be -9 or -10 or whatever. which isn't great, but it's something that they have to respect as well, that if you mistime it, you can actually beat them. So even though there's ways around this, there's counterplays around it as well. So yeah, I just wanted to put this out there, and hope you all like it. And if you do, let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye.